Welcome to the Morning Ramble.
What's going on?
I'm Matt. That's
Yeah.
Eric.
Yeah.
Eric is a little under the weather today. But we're gonna do the podcast anyway for you.
That's right. That's why I'm here.
So we got some memes to go over today. There's a lot of them.
All right.
So I have no idea how long this thing's gonna be. But if you stick around the whole time, you get a piece of candy. If you come to my house and ask me for a piece of candy,
Yeah,
I'm not going to tell you where I live, though.
Yeah. At the end, we're doing a drawing for a free iPad.
What? A first-generation iPad.
First generation.
It doesn't work anymore, but we're doing a drawing for it.
Yep.
I'm going to have to find it. Anyway, the first one we've got here is Facebook had like a little bit of a purge of some libertarian pages, like, you know, Liberty memes and other variations on the name Liberty memes.
Yeah.
So this one here says Facebook just unpublished Liberty memes. And the guy's just like, well, I guess I'll vote Democrat.
Yep. That's how it works. If you get rid of the opposition, if you just erase them, no one thinks about them again.
Within seconds,
Yep.
there were replacement pages for all of them.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
Now it's Liberty Memes 2.0. Follow that if you want to. I find it kind of funny because they always share a bunch of memes.
They share some a little bit more, not I guess controversial would be the word, but like being libertarian, the one that I follow, that one still was around. So, but I don't know. It's not surprising anymore with Mark Zuckerberg.
Well, speaking of the Zuck,
Oh,
we've got...
that's terrifying.
That's a nice opinion you have there. Sure would be a shame if someone removed it.
I know, it's like...
Man, he's a nightmare person.
He's a little bit nightmare. I think it's funny how, like, is that the mentality? Like, if we take it off Facebook, it just doesn't exist anymore. Like, there's no other way for people to talk about something other than Facebook.
It's so strange because I do agree with Facebook's. They're right to do that.
Oh, yeah. They can do whatever they want.
They can do whatever they want because they are a company. They're a publicly traded, what is it, $1 billion company or something?
I don't know. They're
Stupid
Fortune,
stuff.
whatever.
It's very, it's a very lucrative business. But basically, and here's something that I've wanted to say about Facebook for a long time because people are always constantly saying, oh, it's a social media platform. It's a social media platform.
Yeah.
It's not. Facebook is an ad platform that happens to do social media. That's their business model.
Yeah.
Their business model is not you can share these pictures with your friends. Their business model is
You can do that.
you can
and also
see the ads that we have on the service. That's
every
it.
2 posts, there's going to be a sponsored shared
And
thing.
it's going to be something that you thought of last night.
In your mind, didn't say out loud, and it's going to be
And it's
on your Facebook page.
Mark Zuckerberg is in my head, and honestly, pull that picture up of him again. Just would it surprise you if he had telekinetic powers?
Well, did you see him talk when he was talking to the Senate council? I forget what was that. What was the whole issue with that? Oh, when a bunch of people's information got released by some third party that was affiliated with Facebook.
Yeah, that was a mess.
Now, while it was amusing to watch old men talk about the internet like it's, I don't know, some alien life form, that was amusing.
It was amazing.
He was an alien himself, sitting there. Just, I don't know, like he was very... It's like he was trying... I saw memes, probably on Liberty memes. It's like when you're trying to act like human.
Like he
like,
did
I
literally look like he was a lizard person.
I should blink now.
I shouldn't say lizard person because now the conspiracy theorists are going to be like, yes,
Yeah.
he is a lizard person.
Right, confirmation.
I should never say lizard person. And then, of course, there's this gem here.
Yep.
For $30 at the dollar store. You can buy a statue of Bernie Sanders holding a collection plate. I love this because it literally is just...
It does.
It just looks like Bernie Sanders.
We have one of those at the store, but it's not... It doesn't look like Bernie Sanders. It looks like a pirate, which is Bernie Sanders.
Pirate Bernie
It's
Sanders.
pirate Bernie Sanders. What was that supposed to be, though? Because it looks like Bernie Sanders, and I don't see anything else other than Bernie Sanders now.
You know what? Like, I'm guessing it was supposed to be like a butler or something. But,
Okay, that makes sense.
It's just Bernie Sanders holding a collection plate.
Sorry, I don't have a butler. I don't know what butlers are.
Yeah, that is kind of weird that's a theme with Halloween
Is that
decorations.
still a job? Is that still a job?
I'm sure it is.
Is there butlers out there?
I'm sure there's butlers out there.
Like, what's your job? I show up at this guy's house and I answer his door. Like, that's my job.
I take care of the cleaning staff for Mr. Withersworth.
I hang coats and hats.
I hang coats.
Like, that's...
What is my purpose? You hang coats.
And then I hand coats as they're leaving.
Yes.
It's very serious.
I hand them the wrong coats every time, though. Mr. Witherby, you get Mrs. Bitterbottom's coat. By the way, all British people have stupid names.
Where are we going? We went from Bernie Sanders to insulting British people.
We won the war, damn it.
Say what we want. Yeah.
Come at me, Britain.
Yeah. And your stupid name.
Oh, no, I just zoomed in on Bernie.
All right.
All right, this one's the Electoral College.
All right, well, sit down and relax because we're going to get into this.
This article says killing the Electoral College would alienate half the country. What do you feel about this?
All right. So we're probably going to go in depth with this, but first I just want to say what they're pointing out. So the argument that they're making is that the main cities in America, like I guess you could say like LA, New York, San Francisco, pretty much the West Coast, like they have a bigger population than the whole Middle East.
I mean, that's also true with, Philly and like all those cities.
Oh, Philadelphia has a way higher population than obviously like the northern counties of Pennsylvania.
Oh yeah,
Like,
and there was some contention on that throughout the last thing.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say what I think about it, and then I actually want to hear what your opinion on it is. Like, I think the point of the Electoral College is that, like, I know it's easy just to say we have a population, whoever has the most votes wins. It's very easy to say that. But when you live in a certain area and a certain demographic, your opinions are going to be very similar to the people around you. That's why, like, in urban cities, like, it's more, I don't know why it's more left-leaning, but it is, a lot of, Philadelphia, San Francisco. So a lot of those are going blue, and then a lot of rural areas are Republican. I have no idea why. But, like, literally, if you look at a map, like, from 2016's, like, the biggest cities, like, in Ohio, Pennsylvania, Illinois, like, it like, was all red, and then it turned to blue when it got to a populated city. So the point of it is just to kind of, like, even the playing field, because, like, why should we have the main cities of America choosing who's in charge of our country, when there's like a whole other part of the country that will have no voice essentially. So that's the point of it.
And this article's stance is removing it would alienate half the country.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, then Hillary could pretty much like, why would I campaign in Nebraska?
Yeah.
Their vote does not matter. I don't need their vote. I'm going to go over here to San Francisco.
Yeah. So here is my contention with this article.
Mm-hmm.
It would alienate half the country to remove it, but half the country's already alienated. It's not a great system.
It's not.
If the Electoral College... Now, this has a lot to do with districts and how they're drawn up. Gerrymandering, not going to get into it.
Well, that was also fixed in our state. Like, if you saw, remember, Pennsylvania was pretty bad. It was redrawn. I saw the new map. I agree with it.
It is definitely better.
Because it was, why do we have these weird shapes as districts? I don't understand it either. So, I mean, no, that's a lie. I understand why they're done. I just don't agree with it.
Right.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the Electoral College, this is the point that confuses a lot of people, especially people who only had like one government class in high school or never had a government class at all. Everybody always says, oh, the USA is a democracy. It's a democracy. It's a democracy. It is not a democracy.
No.
It is a democratic republic.
Yes.
That republic part is why the Electoral College is there.
Yeah.
So, would it fix everything to remove the Electoral College? No. Of course it wouldn't.
I would be okay if there would be some type of proposal to reform the Electoral College.
I would be very interested in seeing how they would do that.
Yeah, like, I think... Because, like you said, it's you said democratic republic. I've also heard like constitutional republic, I guess you can say. I would be okay if you would take the population of a state and then evenly distribute electoral votes based off the population of a full state. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
So, because I know what you're saying. You're saying half the country feels, left out, and that's true. Because if you look at I think Wyoming has 3 electoral votes, and California has 53, or not 53. What do they have? Is it 53?
It's a lot.
They have a lot, but because of the population between those 2 states, I think I saw this on that Adam Ruins Everything show. I don't know if you ever saw that.
I've seen it.
He was saying that the citizens in Wyoming technically have their vote is a greater, it matters more than people who live in California, because even though they have so many more electoral votes for how big their population is, they would need more to evenly match Wyoming.
And the fact that some states have that splitting thing when it comes to electoral votes, where it's like, some states are, if you win the state majority, you win all the votes. And some of them have the whole splitting thing. They should all be split.
Yeah.
There is no reason why there should be a win condition like that. There's no reason for that.
Mm-hmm.
Because then those people who did vote for the opposite side, their votes now do not matter. It's hard when we get to this conversation, because what always comes up with the Electoral College is the fact that the last 2 times that the Electoral College really came into play versus the popular vote were caused Democrats to lose.
Yes.
So it's like Gore won the popular vote. Bush still won the election. Hillary won the popular vote.
Mm-hmm.
Trump still won the election. So I think that's why there are people very, very bitter about this. It's because it does appear to be favoring one side. But then again, we got to kind of consider what led us down this path, and the fact that this hasn't come up too many more times in the past.
Yeah.
So maybe it's because of our current society that needs reform on some of these antiquated practices.
As you said, yeah, it does favor, or I mean, I could say it looks like it, but it does favor in the general election that one side Republican. But the Electoral College has also kind of hurt the Democratic Party as well. Like if you think about the primary with Bernie and Hillary, I was listening to one of the electoral voters, which again, why is there voters? Like, why isn't there just more of an electoral vote? Like, why does it have to be physical people?
Yeah.
Another time. But she was talking about how in, what was the state? Was it Maine? It was up by where he is, Vermont. Like, even though Bernie had more of the votes or something like that, like everyone but her voted for Hillary, and then because the Democrats wanted her to win. So it's, it hurts both parties, I would say.
In that side,
yeah,
I've got to say, the Electoral College didn't screw over the Democrats. The Democrats screwed over the Democrats.
Yes, that's true.
I mean, if you've got somebody as dynamic as Trump, and I don't want to get too far into the 2016 election. That's ancient history at this point.
Yeah.
But if you got somebody who is as dynamic as Trump, and he's a very dynamic person, for better or worse, you need to compete with that dynamically.
Mm-hmm.
Now, granted, with this coming election, I'm not sure that's going to be the case. And I mean, the 2020 election, obviously.
It's going to be crazy.
I'm not sure that's the case because people are very concerned with how loud the president's been.
Yes.
So it might actually be beneficial to have a more soft-spoken person.
Yeah, well, that's how it is. Everyone, what was it? I forget who was talking about it. It might have been Dave Chappelle, but they were talking about how, we just go back and forth. We had a very charismatic, well-spoken, soft-spoken, well-mannered president, Barack Obama, and now we have this very loud, obnoxious. Oh, it was Joe Rogan. He was talking about it. Very loud, obnoxious guy that we just went to the other side, and it was just get back and forth. But the Electoral College, I don't see it going away anytime soon. And it's very easy for me, as a Republican, obviously, to like it, but at the same time, it's still a valid point that if it was gone, you're pretty much saying we don't care about this part of the country. We don't care about these type of people and their type of society or even culture, because it's a very different culture if you go to Kentucky and then you go to
there's a lot of fried chicken out there.
Yeah, and then you go to Seattle. There's 2 different places.
There's a skyline there.
Seattle,
I don't know anything about
rain.
Seattle.
I don't know.
All right.
So we got some more Democratic memes. What was that one? Oh, wait, what do you got here? Oh, yeah, this one. I think I pulled this from one of the Libertarian pages. It says, I hope my team wins, so my point of view will be forced on the other half of the nation, or I'll get angry. And it's just Democrat and Republican.
This is the point where you kind of have to look at yourself and wonder, why do we still have just a straight 2-party system? Now, granted, that some of the third parties were gaining some steam.
Could have voted for Gary.
I did vote for Gary.
Oh, that's right, you did.
I did vote for Gary.
I did not, and even though I was for... Oh.
I threw my vote away.
What a boob. I mean... like, I shouldn't laugh. Like, if you're going to try to break the 2-party system, this is the guy. His vice president pick, Bill Weld, was a way better candidate than he was. And, like, I think he would have had maybe more of a chance, but... You know, if you're going to try to break the 2-party system, this is the guy that you're going to do it with, is Gary.
What a boo.
I like his views. Seems like a sensible guy, but man,
I mean,
he was not good at interviews.
Again, he's the kind of guy who I'm like, yeah, I'd sit down and have a beer with him or something. Go bowling with him.
Yeah.
I don't want him as president.
Yeah, right.
But I could say the same thing about Trump.
He's like Ned Flanders. I don't know. It seems like that neighbor that you say.
Hi. It's me, Gary Johnsarino.
All right. So this one, I'm sure everyone who's watching this has seen it. Activities when requiring a photo ID, and then activities requiring a photo is when a photo ID apparently is not racist, and then when a photo ID is presented is racist. And it shows pretty much everything known to man, and then voting is the one where it's racist. And this, I will always argue for this because I completely and wholeheartedly agree to it. Because you need your ID for everything. You need cough syrup, you need your ID.
Yeah, this is true.
You need to rent a car. I don't know. What do we got here? Welfare, food stamps, bank accounts, cigarettes, a house, renting or buying.
Yeah.
Driving a car, buying a car, getting married, purchasing a gun, adopting a pet. Hotel room, you need your ID.
Yeah.
I traded in some musical instruments at a Guitar Center. So they take my ID and they make a copy of it. Literally, they're buying like a guitar pedal off me, and I need to give them my ID. So why is voting any different? I don't know. Do you agree?
I mean,
are you on the opposite side?
You know what? I'm not even torn. I really do think that a photo ID should be necessary for voting. It would help combat fraud. And yes, I do realize that there are people who have a difficult time getting a photo ID.
I don't even agree with that. I don't even agree with that because I remember what was the one election when this was a really hot topic. They showed lines outside the DMV. It's like, we're trying to get an ID, but now we can't vote. You know, that kind of thing. It's like, it's not like elections are every week. Get an ID beforehand. Plan ahead.
I mean,
my grandmother doesn't drive.
You have an ID if you're.
You should have.
If you're an adult in this country, get an ID.
My grandmother has never driven a car. She has an ID. She doesn't even drive, but she got an ID because she needs one. Everyone needs one. I don't understand why it's a problem. When I went to the 26, every time I voted, they actually asked me for my ID, and I handed it to them. I know it's not the law. I don't care. Here, take my ID.
Yeah, I don't get that. Like when I go to vote, they're just like, "Oh, hi, Matt," because the people who run the voting thing are my landlords.
That's true. Well, I've never gotten ID'd where I used to live, but since buying the new house, the 2 times that I voted, they asked for my ID both times because I'm a new person. They have never seen me before. It's a very weird place that I vote in. It's like in the basement of a church.
Well, that's
how it is out here. That's how it is out here. So, but
all right, we got another one here.
Oh, this.
So, this was on the Twitter. And NBC News tweeted out, watch, President Trump says Robert E. Lee was a great general during Ohio rally, calling the Confederate leader incredible. And then shortly afterwards said, correction, an earlier tweet misidentified the general President Trump described as incredible at the rally in Ohio. It was generally Ulysses S. Grant, not Robert E. Lee.
Small error.
an attached video clip lacked the full context for Trump's remark. Here's the full clip. Let me pull up that other one quick, and then we'll talk about
I think
this.
it was actual Ulysses S. Grant that said Robert E. Lee was a good general at the time. Well,
yeah.
I mean, technically, if we're talking about facts, Robert E. Lee probably was a very good general in order to lead an opposition against his country.
If you do some research on the Civil War, which I have extensively,
yeah,
Robert E. Lee was probably the best general in the war.
Yeah.
He made one huge blunder close to the end of the war, and he wanted to quit because of it.
Yeah.
But we've got this one where it's like the same thing. It's the same tweet there. And this guy who is on the left said, Jesus, NBC, do not make me defend this guy, but your headline clip completely misconstrued context by cutting the clip short. I'm a raging liberal, and this is irresponsible. He goes on to say how Lee was better despite his alcoholism and defeated Lee. Yeah. And yeah, Grant was an alcoholic.
Yeah. Well, I think this is a very valid point because I know one of the guys I watch, Philip DeFranco, he said this back when Trump was running for president. It's like, you don't need to make stuff up in order to, criticize this man. It's all there.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm okay defending Trump in a lot of things. Might be a little hard for some instances, but I think I'm pretty good at it. But there's a lot of things you can criticize him on.
You should take Sarah Sanders' job.
I'm totally fine with that. I'll be there longer than the mooch.
Guys, listen. He says stupid stuff all the time. Why are you even questioning it? Yeah. Why are you even in this room? Go out. It's sunshine out there.
It's the dignity of the office, Matt. The dignity of the office. How dare he say that about that person or minority?
It is what it is. I mean, we're gonna have interesting times still in the next at least 2 years. Yeah. And maybe 6 years. Who knows? I have no idea how that 2020 election is going to go. I have no idea how this coming election is going to go.
I'm excited. We're going to definitely do some election stuff. All right, let's get out of the election. Let's talk about something a little bit more serious.
All right, guys. The government, not here, but in the mother country.
Where we came from.
Our Prometheus, the United Kingdom, is trying to control what you eat. They're saying pizzas must shrink or lose their toppings under government anti-obesity plans. Basically, the whole point of this is they want to get pizzas underneath 1,000 calories.
I think it's funny they have a calorie limit.
Well, that's stupid because nobody just sits there and eats a whole pizza.
How are they going to test that?
I'll be the tester.
Because can't restaurants just say, oh yeah, it's 1,000 calories? Because calories are pretty much estimates to begin with. Like when you buy something and it says, oh, there's 100 calories in it. It's like, how do you know? They're guesses.
Yeah, it is.
It's around just 100 calories. Enough. Yeah.
But it's like if you look at this page here, it says like Domino's pepperoni passion classic crust. Now these are what they're called in the UK.
Because that's a weird name.
12 calories. Goodfellas 12-10 calories. That's a deep pan.
So I'm
guessing that's a deep dish.
Well, is that like the whole pizza?
Yeah.
So what they're saying is that they want 1,000 calories for an 8-slice pizza. Is that kind of because we have to get in specifics here.
Because this looks like pizza. A medium pizza.
That's a medium. That's 6 pieces.
Yeah.
And then if I cut it into 4s, does that mean it has to be less? Like are they going to do a size as well? Are they going to have a small, medium, large? Like larges are 1,000, mediums are 800, smalls are 600.
I cannot see them being able to enforce this.
This is very complicated, and we needed to get this situated
and also
figured out.
It's terrible.
It's stupid.
And it like who eats a whole pizza in a sitting? I've done it before, yeah. But not all the time.
Yeah, like once a month.
Yeah, like once a week.
Yeah,
once a day.
Yeah, every Wednesday.
Every Wednesday, twice that day.
Twice that day, lunch and dinner. Don't want to skip a meal. That's bad for you.
Yeah, and for breakfast, I eat a tub of ice cream.
We're adults. We do what we want.
Okay.
All right.
And that's all we have for you this week.
That's right.
Thank you for tuning in to the Morning Ramble.
Yep, we're going to have a special Halloween podcast.
Yes.
For Halloween.
And totally not going to do anything special for it.
Nope, no dressing up.
Look
Nothing.
forward to that this week sometime.
Yep.
Bye.
All right, we'll see you later.
Bye.